Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, shoot away, Diego.
Ciao Barbara. Happy New
Yeah,
Year. That's good.
happy New
Uh,
Year to
just,
you.
just talking about your experience at Eurosport because it's been many years for you working there. I just wonder, what is the most satisfying aspect of this journey from the tennis court to the
Um,
microphone?
yeah, I mean, this is my 19th year coming up for Eurosport, believe it or not. It's incredible. I've been on the professional tour for 12 years, and I would have never dreamed that I was going to be with Eurosport for so long. I mean, so I'm very happy with that. It feels like it's two careers for me, the one on the court, the one off the court. I can barely remember the one on the court, to be honest. But I got a lot of pleasure and yeah, good times out of being with Eurosport behind the microphone because obviously I have an unbelievable team. I have so much joy to work with, with Alex and Mats and Tim, and Laura now has joined us, John McEnroe, and we're a little family, I think, with Eurosport, and we all have this one thing, which is the passion for tennis, and we help each other out, and we get the best out of each other, and it's fun. And in tennis, there's always something new, so it's a job. I don't feel like it's a job, but at all. It's always something different. Every Grand Slam is different. Every interview is very different. So yeah, it's been a great journey. Hopefully, I can be with Eurosport for many more years. And but yeah, I mean, I can't pick one. There's been so many great moments, with us as a team, and we had a lot of fun as well. It's hard work too because the days are very, very long, but we had some fun interviews, and yeah, so it's good. I hope you enjoy watching it.
But how is this mix of former players, current players, like you mentioned, like this, will call it this gap between, for example, John McEnroe, and then there is Laura Robson. Then it was announced that Nick Kyrgios is going to help Eurosport work for Eurosport during this Australian Open. How is this mix, and what is, in your opinion, what the current players can bring to the Eurosport in terms of insight and opinions with the tennis that is evolving, obviously. So the sport that is playing at the moment is not the same that was probably 10, 15 years ago. So how we can, I don't know, work this
I think
environment
I
together.
think I think everybody brings something different to the table. I mean, John McEnroe, Mats, they won so many Grand Slam titles. Chris Evert, they bring the experience to our program, to our coverage, how to win Grand Slam title. How does it feel when you're out there? How does it feel when you grind for 4 or 5 hours? Then we have the current players. Nick Kyrgios, he's very different, very special, but he knows everybody from the locker room. Also, Laura Robson, she's turning 30. She's still 29, but turning 30 very shortly. So she's played against a lot of the players who are on the tour now. I have the experience to have played against, the Williams sisters, Steffi Graf, against Capriati, Davenport, Hingis, all the players who have written history. So I think we all understand the game. We all or a lot of us come from a different era when we played. One thing we all have in common, we really like each other, and we get along. There's no egos in our team, which is important. We'll see how things are going with Nick when he joins us. I'm really excited, but hopefully he's a team player as well. But I think that's why it comes across on TV as well, that we can joke with each other, and there's mutual respect. Of course, I mean, if somebody would have told me when I was 15 I was going to work with Mats or with John McEnroe or Chris Evert, I would have been, whoa, really? That's overwhelming. But they're just people with passion for tennis and love for the sport, and I think the fact that everybody's bringing something different to the table with their analysis, it makes our coverage really fun and very informative.
Another aspect I know you were involved a lot was the organization for the WTA event in Linz. This year is becoming a 500 event. Are you still the tournament ambassador, right?
I am, and I'm heading back right after the finals of the men's final. The next day at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm hopping on the plane and I'm going to Linz.
How is this? How is the organization going? Because you
It's
obviously
going
had
really well.
upgrade. You also announced that it's Vitalina.
Yeah, so the upgrade has gone through last year, which was very exciting. We've been fighting for that, or working on that for quite some time. It's also obviously you have to have a bigger budget for that, which all went well with sponsors. And we're excited to welcome, just to have the bigger level, to welcome better players there. We have bigger coverage worldwide. As well from the tournament, and I'm getting emails left, right, and center every day, because I'm obviously part of the organization team, but at the moment I can't do much there. I'm using my connections, via email and everything, but the preparations are running 100%, and hopefully, it also depends a little bit how some of the players are playing in the second week of the Australian Open. Obviously, we're hoping of one of the big stars as well, who go maybe to a semis, who decides, okay, I'm going to come and I'm playing Linz. So very exciting, and that's also for me something completely different. I always wanted to do something that's also 18th, 19th year now, to see what it takes to organize a tournament, because as a player you don't really think about it. Everything is there. You complain when something is not there, but what it actually means to put a tournament together is incredible. So I teach all the young girls and boys, when they play a tournament now, please go and see the tournament director, thank them what they have put together, and just be grateful, because if it wasn't for them, there would be no jobs and no tournaments to play.
Sticking on the WTA side, we just came off a very intense season, the 2023 season, when we had that very tough race for the top of the ranking. And I just want to ask you your thoughts about how did you see that race between Świątek and Sabalenka? What do you think they are doing probably better than other at the moment? And if you see anything that can really improve in their games?
I've been watching Iga closely when she played the United Cup. I think she looks extremely strong. I think that this year she's also at a better place mentally, because last year, remember, she always felt the pressure of being number one, and I think now she's mentally at a different place. So I think she will have a great year again. Sabalenka, similar. Obviously, what happened in the finals of Brisbane is not ideal for her, to lose the way she lost against Elena Rybakina. So that's something she will think about. But I think between Sabalenka and Iga Świątek, that's only 100 points, where between Sabalenka and Rybakina, I think there's quite a few points. There's a big gap. I think Rybakina will definitely get up there as well. She could even potentially overtake somebody like Sabalenka, but I think the three of them, they are the ones, and Coco Gauff, they will lead women's tennis. And I think it's exciting, because it's not something where you think, okay, Iga is going to win this for sure. Maybe at the French Open, you would think, yes, okay, she has best chances, but at any other event, it's very open, and I like that. I think they all improved. There's minor improvements which maybe are not as visible as we would like to see, but on top of the game, the air gets very thin, and just a percent here or there decides. But one thing is for sure, it's exciting times in women's tennis. I think we have so many comebacks as well with Kerber, with Osaka. Svitolina's done unbelievable. Wozniacki, I'm looking forward to see her. Emma Raducanu is playing again. So it's going to be a very exciting year, I think, and I'm really looking forward to it.
But for example, in terms of Iga, we are starting a season that I think it's for me, the season for her is like one chance, the life chance of doing something great, because there is the Roland Garros obviously, but then there is also the Olympic game in Paris.
Yeah, I think that's one of her goals, to win both for sure. And the Olympic year is always a big year. You have to choose your schedule wisely. I think there's a lot of tennis to be played. They also have a lot of tournaments which are now 14 days. So you have to know exactly when to play what. But for Iga, she looks eager this year. I think I think the Grand Slam titles, that's what she's playing for, and definitely. I mean, imagine if she could win Roland Garros and the Olympics at Roland Garros. That would be just a dream come true for her. And as a player, you always, not that I've been ever, number one in the world, but you have to set goals. That's the most important thing, because without goals, you just play. But I think it's very important to follow goals. I mean, if you think of or look at Novak Djokovic, he's just playing for the numbers, for the records he can break, and that has to be a little bit the same for Iga. And she looks ready. She looks really, really strong this year, and she looks like she's gonna do really well.
In terms of talking about golf, we obviously saw how much she did well last August, but this could that be like a double sword situation where she really has to deal with more stuff around her, and at the same time trying to stay focused on court, trying to find the best balance?
Yeah, I mean, I think she was, even before winning the US Open, I think there was a lot going on around her. And as she said in her speech, there were a lot of doubters and a lot of people who never thought that she was going to make it. So to me, she's so mature. And I mean, I've said that for the last 2 or 3 years, I think how mature she is. And she's got great people around her. And I think she knows what she has to do, and not get too carried away with doing sponsorship things or getting her focus off. She started the year well. She won the tournament in Auckland. I think that's already a statement. The way she's playing, and she's in the mix with the other 3 that I've mentioned. I think Coco Gauff brings something completely different to the table. The way she's playing, she's an unbelievable athlete, I think, and she's still so young. She's only gonna get better. But I don't think that she's gonna get carried away with distractions, in terms of distractions and something like that. I think she's very focused, and she knows exactly what she wants.
The last question is about all these players. As you mentioned, that they are coming back. Most of them are coming back after giving birth. So it's like how tennis allowed the new mom to come back on tour. How is different the situation with, again, 10 or 15 years ago, and how these players were able to kind of normalize the comeback in terms of come back and being immediately on a very high level and performing very, very well. So how do you see
I think the way
in terms of tennis? Sorry.
I think the way of thinking has changed in women as well. I remember when I was 28 and I retired when I was 28, I thought I was old. I thought I had enough. And I thought, okay, in a few years, I'm going to have kids. And there was not even like 1 second I would think about coming back after giving birth, because I just thought it's you're too old anyway, because 20 years ago, when you were over 30, you were considered old in tennis. Now that's not the case anymore. You have most of the players playing until their mid-30s. I mean, Kaba is, what is Kaba now, 35 or something like that? And she's come back. And now when a female player gets pregnant, they know, okay, that's not the end of my career. I'm coming back. But you also have to think of, if you have a longer career, when do you fit in the family, you know? So I can see when you're over 30 and you're still playing some great tennis, you're starting to think, oh, you know, what am I'm not going to want to miss out on a kid, but I'm not going to want to miss out on my career, which is only, you know, maybe a few years longer. So I think that's why we see a lot of the girls, they have a child, and then they know exactly, okay, I'm going to come back. So I think you can still train during pregnancy to a certain degree. I think that's important. I haven't done much during my pregnancy, to be honest. I was just walking and stuff, but I think they have stayed fit. They tried not to put on too much weight, and they have a team around them. That's also important. I think that you're financially secure, that you can have a nanny, a babysitter, you can have your whole family. I saw with Angie that she has her mom, her partner out, so lots of people who can help, probably several rooms if the baby can't sleep. If you don't have the finances, if you're ranked 200, you can't do that. So that's also one component. But I love it. They changed the rules as well, that if you are, maternity leave, basically, you can come back with a special ranking. I think that's good. Because male players, they can start a family, but female players, it's much harder. And I think it's amazing that they are able to do that, and they are physically able to do that. Again, I wouldn't have done it, because for me it was just I finish one thing and then I start another thing, and I wanted to just be there, because you have to be very selfish as a tennis player, and it's not that easy. It would have very hard for me to combine that selfishness with being a mother, where you have to be selfless. It's kind of, I don't know. But it's a bit of a trend. Yeah, we'll see if Petra Kvitova comes back. We'll see if Belinda Bencic comes back, which I think she will. But it's cool. It sets a statement for strong women, and I love that.
Thank you so much. Really.
You're very welcome. You didn't ask me one question about the Italians, which is crazy.